Chiefs and Invictus, arguably the two best teams this stage, going toe-to-toe. And as Dev Marta put it, a spot at the major on the line here. If Invictus win in regulation, they go straight through. For Chiefs, they win, and a date against the team at the bottom next week sees them likely to follow up with that one. Let's head over to Cafe. Invictus on the defense first. The Chiefs will be on the attack. This is a big one, obviously, for the Chiefs. They have never really been a team that's taken APAC South by storm, Guz. So far, this has been the stage for them to do that.
I think the most concerning thing for me, if you're a Chiefs fan, is basically a TLDR of what Dev mentioned on the desk throughout the map veto. Cafe this year has not by any stretch been a great map for the Chiefs. So I think heading into this one, if Invictus arguably weren't already favorites despite our earlier predictions, they probably are now. So this is such an intense situation. Bans coming through, Habana Thatch Valk, nothing really standing out to me there as being too radical.
Standard.
The final defensive ban here, we might see something thrown up like a information denial operator, like a mute, for example. Maybe even a castle could be a stretch here to deny some of those extensions. But there we go. Wamai taken down. An operator that Invictus do dabble in occasionally, so not too unexpected. In fact, if you look back at some of their history, there's been stretches where they've just banned Wamai like 15 times in a row. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't look at those stats, but I, just figured. Also, I think Wamai is an operator that does tend to get banned out a little bit on Cafe. So, not really too surprising. For the Chiefs, though, Guz, what's interesting, when we had the predictions at the very beginning of the night, I was the only one that went for IG. Do you think there's something to that? Do you think the Chiefs are favorites in this match? I can't help but feel, in a way, that for a lot of you boys, it's a little bit of maybe OCE bias. I still feel IG's the favorites in this game.
Yeah. Again, a lot of my prediction was sort of grounded in the O storyline for tonight, seeing them win every game this evening. But if I search deep within my soul, I still think Invictus are probably the favorites based on what we know. But, I mean, as the boys are saying in the Discord right now, the Chiefs banned their best map. They banned Clubhouse. That is either going to be the biggest brain play we've seen in any veto so far this year, or the Chiefs are going to get stomped and regret that decision for the entirety of the off-season. So that is such a big gamble that they've taken. Will it pay off? That's the question.
Yeah, and look, honestly, I think if you're going to be hiding Clubhouse, why not continue to just keep hiding it forever? Maybe the real trick is that the Chiefs are just not good on Clubhouse anymore. They just don't play it. And they're just fooling everyone. But look, yeah, it's somewhat strange. Maybe it's the banter of expect the unexpected in a way. If the Chiefs are thinking, all right, they're going to believe we want Clubhouse and we're going to let that through. And they're playing some mind games, apparently at least. But we'll see how they go here on Cafe. It's not their best map. In fact, it's their most banned map, so you don't really hold the most fortunes here for the Chiefs, but it's must win. You would have to suspect they've got something up their sleeve here for Cafe. A map that doesn't really see a whole lot of innovation, though.
Chiefs repelling on the western side of the map, as roof control has also been obtained to open up a red hatch. Was the new hatch kicking down in towards the balcony. So far the attack pattern here from the Chiefs not too unexpected. We're not seeing anything wild like maybe an eastern push or even underneath cocktail inside of reading, for example. Nothing like that at the moment, but that does mean they'll need to contest the clash. Invictus being allowed to play that as the Chiefs took the Valkyrie off the board instead, and we know that Luna is one of the best clash players, not only in APAC but globally as well. So the Chiefs not banning her out must have a solid plan to counter it.
Nitrosol from Speakeasy early on in the round as well, misses the mark. Minute and a half, opening round. You generally want to get off to a good start here for Bar Cocktail. God Legion actually in on piano. So look to make sure that pixel is clear, which it is. Washroom still occupied though by Invictus. Along with that clash still in that white corridor position. So really Chiefs, while they've got decent position, I guess over towards Cigar, they haven't really actually cleared any real angles or players from Invictus here close to sight.
Yeah, no Maverick being brought here, and with those electric claws up on the walls facing the west, does limit some of the options here for the Chiefs, unfortunately for them, and Invictus playing into that. Very, very passive at the moment. That deployable shield cleared in backstore does spice things up a little bit, makes that position a little bit more uncomfortable. 45 seconds left. They need to make a move somewhere. Can they find a position to get that plant down?
Ooh, maybe the balcony over towards Cocktail could be a play for the Chiefs. I'm still sensing maybe the hatch, the skylight could be the play as well, but Speakeasy and Washrooms has a beautiful bullet hole onto Ethan's head. 2 early kills in this exchange late into the round, and Invictus, you would think from here, got this one wrapped up. Fisher guy still has the diffuser in hand. They haven't even dealt with the clash. They can't even deal with Speakeasy, arguably the best player in the region. Joe takes out Digital. It has fallen to pieces for the Chiefs on their opening attack here in this match. Well played by Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, complete stall out there from the Chiefs. A really great combination of both the clash down White Corridor as well as Speakeasy peeking in through washrooms into backstore and beyond. Those two, so difficult to clear, and unfortunately the Chiefs aren't able to win that one, or at least disrupt those players enough to get some map control, and Invictus just looking so damn comfortable to kick things off.
One round does not dictate, though, an entire match. Of course, it's a long marathon, these games, especially when there's a chance this one could go to OT. Both teams have been amazing this stage. Reading Fireplace will be our second site. And for the Chiefs, they didn't really offer too much there on that bar cocktail attack. They weren't able to deal with the clash. They weren't able to clear out washrooms and didn't really do that much. The only thing they could essentially do was establish control inside a cigar shop, a little bit over towards piano. They had cleared out Pixel, but that was it. And that's fine for Invictus there on the defense. Still holding washrooms, still holding, you know, White Corridor, for instance, Cocktail itself. They basically had a very easy round. Chiefs are going to have to do a lot better here, especially for reading Fireplace, where, you know, much of the defensive setup around Cocktail, around, you know, this washrooms position as well, all still very much prominent for this site.
Mute on the board now in exchange for the Kaid, offering a little bit more adaptability, more gems available to block up some of those walls in combination with denying information from Jones as well, presumably. So again, that's something that the Chiefs will need to contest with. Again, electing not to bring the Maverick on the board, and I feel like we will get to a stage where one of these teams are probably eventually going to have to play it. Habana taken off the board means that, yes, you're limited a little bit, but Maverick is a direct, great counter with Thatcher unavailable, so I'll have to wait and see if that does eventually occur. If not, Chiefs need to find other ways to open up this map, try and crack it open, if you would. Now, Luna's in a very precarious position, and Joe is doing such a great job denying those drones, and Luna, I doubt, has been spotted.
Yeah, by getting rid of those drones, of course, unable to drone out Luna, also understanding Joe's going to be a person of interest for this round, so probably an opportunity for Luna. There is another drone, though, that may actually catch him here, and as long as it does, which it definitely did do just then, Luna's not going to be able to play that position anymore, does get tagged up, has to relocate, and suddenly that one drone may actually get the kill. It's actually Joe who ends up dying, and of course, Luna's not really going to be in the best position, but has been able to rotate back over towards Bar, and is now very much trying to get to that cocktail position, or maybe even flank all the way back down White Stairs and go on site here. Doesn't actually go towards Freezer for the time being, but still a minute and a half opening pick to the Chiefs. This is a little bit better.
Loading new mag.
Sterix over towards White Stairs, a Speakeasy rotates up above. Invictus looking to fortify Cocktail, and in doing so, drain more time from the Chiefs. And that's probably the right call. The Chiefs stalling out. They have decent control, but just waiting. 3 drones were lit up there at a point in time. The Chiefs are really wanting to make sure that they know where's safe, where isn't, and how they want to approach site.
Just under a minute remaining. Luna a little bit aggressive there in Cocktail, just running around Ethan quite literally on 1 HP. Hysterics low as well in that exchange over towards bot White. 44 seconds left here in this second round. Nothing is going to be easy in this match for both teams. It's going to be difficult to find kills, to play the way you want to play. You're going to be in a position where you're not going to be able to dictate the tempo that easily. Under 30 seconds left, and for the Chiefs here, I'm thinking this is going to be having to be a rush onto site. It's not looking great. Ethan ends up killing himself. God Legion and Fisher Guy both fall to Speak Easy and Jordan in the round, I think, falling away from the Chiefs as well. Jordan, good headshot onto Digital. Worthy falls shortly after, and the round goes to Invictus.
We see time and time and time again. If you do not find a way to shut down Speak Easy, you are going to be punished round after round. 2 rounds in, Speak Easy's already popping off. Now, he was in obviously a very favorable position, and it wasn't necessarily him that won them the round by any stretch, but he is a player that is so potent, has such a dramatic impact in so many rounds, and if he is not dealt with by the Chiefs and not traded out effectively, they're going to be in for a rough ride. These first 2 rounds have been very concerning if you're a Chiefs fan.
Well, I mean, yeah, a little bit concerning, but also only the first 2 rounds. I think what makes it more concerning for me is the fact that the Chiefs don't have necessarily a good history on Cafe. So when you compound that fact with the slow start here, it makes it hard to imagine where they're going to be able to sort of pull things back from. Maybe on their defense in the second half is where they're going to be capable of doing just that, but you know, we need to get to that point, and once we do get to that point, you need to hope Chiefs have at least got 2 rounds. So they need to focus on their attack here as we head downstairs, as we head towards kitchen cooking, and Chiefs need to find a round, and they need to probably do it here on this site.
10 seconds left.
Another extension up above here for Invictus, or at least a singular reinforcement in Cocktail, maybe to make the life of some of these rooms a little bit easier. Just how aggressive will Invictus play into this, though. I can't help but feel a game with Speak Easy going 5-0, even though I feel more than comfortable playing up above. Interesting mirror window as well deployed there, facing in towards the Whiskey Bar VIP position there for a potential Eastern take. There are some setups where you see a rotation there, but it seems like instead Invictus wanting to really hold down this position and very much wanting to play in to those mirror windows. It's probably the only real objective on this map where we see mirror the least. So some interesting innovation from Invictus.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Speak Easy as well, 5-0. I'll hold that thought because Chiefs are kind of aggressive here inside of Bakery. The Selma Chargers are going to be able to get quite a lot of sightline now, actually. So pretty decent start somewhat, but Jordan's going to be able to watch the whole way through and get so much vision all the way from service in towards Bakery. But while obviously this has been a match that's been billed as Chiefs versus Invictus, in a way there's also that mini battle of Speak Easy versus Worthy, 2 absolute star players of quality here in the APAC South region. Right now Speak Easy 5 and zip, Worthy 2 and 2. You expect Worthy to be the standout for the Chiefs, as he usually is time and time again. But it's Speak Easy winning that little duel at the moment. Fisher Guy inside of Bakery, obviously understanding the task at hand here is going to be dealing with that mirror window.
Funny enough, you say that, and on face value I would agree, but it was actually Ethan heading into this Playday with the equal highest rating alongside Nerix, 1.34 for the region, and Speak Easy close behind, 1.33. So the new recruit, or I guess veteran recruit, going big so far. Is God Legion, however, elsewhere to find one. Hysterics runs out, traded by Digital in the end. A bit of chaos, but the Chiefs do come out on top.
And they've got that man advantage on a site that they need to win with a minute remaining in this 3rd round. Otherwise, Invictus could do the World Tour. And they're all on this eastern side of Kitchen. AE1D deployed by Worthy. Go time here for the Chiefs to establish control. Luna using that deployable shield, has decent cover actually here, but it's Worthy who finds the pick on to Jordan. That's the mirror down. Mirror window, of course, still up for the time being. Worthy, can he find another over towards main corridor? It's Digital helping out. Worthy dies to Luna in a 1 versus 3 now. Fisher guys can stick this plant down. The Yokai drone to try and deny, but it gets shot out anyway. Chiefs are going to win this round.
And they do. Fisher to close things out after sticking the diffuser. Really well played there from the Chiefs to get red corridor control and able to dismount that setup deep in towards site. Had they have tried to take it head on from Bakery, there's a very fair chance that Luna would have won those gunfights and turned it around. But fortunately for the Chiefs, they prevent the tour from being completed by Invictus, and they finally get something on the board.
Yeah, much needed round win. It just sort of reaffirms that they are in this match, that they are here to fight. Obviously, the first 2 rounds pretty clean for Invictus for the most part. Chiefs didn't really necessarily offer that much of a punch, but able to fight back there. Fortunately for the Chiefs, they get one. Now we head back up towards Bar Cocktail, where they're going to need to, of course, find another one at some point. They can afford to basically win out only on Kitchen. If it plays out that way, it would then be a 2-4 half. If they are to go 3-3, they need to win here, and probably Bar Cocktail reading Fireplace can always be quite difficult for the attackers. So opportunity here presents itself. I think by far and away the biggest win condition though is dealing with Luna on that clash.
Decent amount of utility available for the Chiefs to achieve that objective if desired. At least 4 grenades will be available, and Gold Legion with the lifeline can concuss
5 seconds to go.
the clash in combination with those projectiles to maybe find something, but as we saw last time, so potent over towards that pixel position, and with those walls being electrified by Speak Easy, we had seen the Chiefs stall out on this attempt. Now, historically, Chiefs have been a team on occasion, I'm fairly certain, to go for that downstairs underneath cocktail to reading sort of approach, which may well be viable here, but it is a big risk to take.
What's the Chiefs going to do to offer up something different here? Already looks like, in terms of positioning, quite a stark difference to the opening round of Bar Cocktail. A lot more of a presence on the other side of the map. Ethan, big nade onto Speak Easy. Jordan already incredibly low. This is the start for the Chiefs. It's all about capitalization now. God Legion can play from red stairs, and this is something that they didn't have first go around, guys. Multiple avenues of attack. It was quite one-dimensional, and now they can put the pressure onto Invictus from multiple angles.
Chiefs probably don't know Jordan's low, but from our perspective, we can see that this is a Chiefs round to lose. It's positions like this that you need to capitalize in what is going to be such a close matchup. A single bullet will take Jordan down. If so, it's a 5 versus 3, only 2 guns up, as Luna again is on that clash. So it's critical that the Chiefs are able to just find one more pick. As you can see, they are going for this reading push. Vertical established up in towards the cocktail objective. Digital is on the rappel. Maybe he can get something going. Still 2 grenades in the pocket. Luna over towards the laundry hatch. Finds himself in a pretty tricky position. There's a lot that the Chiefs can achieve from down below, and there's the perfect example.
Ethan
Jordan dropped.
He's so smart. He gets smoked out top white, so he repositions and rotates, gets the kill onto Jordan, knowing his position. And now he's got top white control. 45 seconds remaining in the round. Chiefs with that 2-man advantage. Of course, Jordan didn't necessarily have that much health. Still, Fisho does lose his life to Luna. The shield turns into a gun, and the gun's quite effective. 3 versus 3, 30 seconds left. It's all the magic 3. That's the diffuser down, by the way. They need to get Luna out of this game. Hysterics has already regained white stairs control too. The round is slowly slipping away from the Chiefs.
Oh, Worthy with such a big shot. Hysterics was thinking about that run out, but did not commit. Chiefs now have the man advantage. Digital for the plant.
Oh, but Hysterics is going to swing in. He can still deny this. 2 versus 2. Can he deny it? God Legion watching. He didn't elect to swing. He will get this kill onto God Legion. Digital swings back and he finds it. Luna, it's Digital! With the double late in the round to clutch it for the Chiefs.
What a huge play there from Digital. That round on a nice edge really, truly could have gone either way, but Digital comes up clutch. And he was not the only key player for the Chiefs in that round.
The worthy swing.
For me, it was Ethan. He got the opening pick with the nade, got Jordan or was it Jordan
Second
or Joe?
pick. Second. Well, yeah, the opening pick,
and then the second from below. Those 2 kills set themselves up for success. If you don't get those first 2 kills, Chiefs showed that late rounds are really tough. They would not have won the round.
But
so
then
Ethan, again, huge.
But then Invictus brought it back to their credit, and it was that worthy swing when it just kind of stalled out momentarily. Diffuser was being guarded. Worthy swings, finds a pick, opens it up. Digital swoops in, picks up the diffuser. He plants, and he wins those. In a 1 versus 2, technically. Well, We got ourselves a match. We had an absolute banging matchup. For those who might have missed it, Knights and Elevate went the distance. And obviously this one could very well do the same if things play out the way we kind of expect it. First 2 rounds to IG, the next 2 now to the Chiefs. And in a way, anything from here is a bonus, guys. I think anything from here, if you make it 3-3, attacking on Cafe, especially a map that Chiefs don't necessarily do that well on, I think they'll be fine with that.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, Invictus proving that even with the Wamai off the board, just not having Thatcher available and really playing into the mirror is so difficult if played right. So yeah, I would agree. Anything from here probably a bonus. But I'm just glad we have a game in our hands. I will not lie, after the first 2 rounds, I thought things were looking really grim for the Chiefs, but they have brought this match back and they are fighting really hard on a map that statistically we did not expect them to go to. Worthy gets the first onto Speakeasy, and of all players you can shut
3 in a
down
row.
first, he is the best. Speakeasy started off strong, but the last few rounds he has really struggled.
Yeah, so 2 in a row now, that Speakeasy has been picked first as the opening death. So that's 2 rounds you don't have to deal with their best player, right? That's 2 rounds, you've got that opening pick, you've got that man advantage. And Chiefs, for 2 rounds, have now, well, you know, been able to capitalize at least on one of them. Can they capitalize on this one as well? Speakeasy has just been kept quiet in these rounds that the Chiefs have been able to win. He has not been there as a factor, and it can be the same here. There's an opportunity for the Chiefs to now go up 3-2 if they can follow up with this opening pick.
Sterix goes for something aggressive, almost shot in the back. Forced back as the E1D reveals his position. The Chiefs will know that he has now fallen down. Keep in mind that this is a dining reading defense. Chiefs looking to get control up above any moment now. They have the man advantage, but is Cocktail clear? Of course it's not. Luna on the mirror while holding down the fort, and I believe that's Joe as well inside of Cocktail, as well as pressure on White Stairs as well. So a lot of objectives that still need to be ticked off by the Chiefs.
Yeah, what's interesting though is the Chiefs so far here on Cafe have shown their ability to adapt on the fly. They don't necessarily play to the conventional attacking approach. So I wouldn't necessarily be too surprised here, minute 13 seconds. If they can't clear this position, they may go for a bit more of an unoptimal approach, but it looks like they are actually going to forge this. Knowing that Washrooms doesn't have a player occupying it, God Legion of course can push up, open the rotational hold, they can play from here. They do need to be critical and mindful of the time. Obviously, if you're going for this push, you need to clear out this Cocktail position. Have the jump out on the rappel, the jump out, the kill. Digital loses his life. God Legion needs to continue to push, and he does just that. Finds the pick. Top white established. They can get into Cocktail. They can start opening up those floorboards. The Chiefs are making something happen here.
I don't even know if that was a jump out. I thought there was one being prepped. Either way, a lot going on in a couple of seconds there. 35 now left. God Legion holding down the flank. Oh, he had to win that, and he narrowly does. Hysterics dropped. Now Jordan and Joe need to hold on for 25 seconds. Both players, you can see their intent. They are wanting to get aggressive and bring this round back.
I'm wondering if that's a pre-placed Nitrocell from Jordan, if that's still active somewhere. Jordan. Oh, he sees the players over towards Pillar. They're going for the default plant. There's only 10 seconds left. Has that Nitrocell already been used?
Bomb located by attackers.
I think that maybe the answer is yes, and he's got not really much of an option here, but to try and make something happen, he's unable to do so. Ethan with the final kill in the round. The Chiefs had the opening one, and right now they got everything going their way. 3 rounds in a row to the Chiefs.
And it's pretty incredible how much pressure gets alleviated when Speakeasy is wiped from the server. Worthy getting that opening pick, it's huge. Not only is it a man advantage, but you've literally taken down one of the best players, if not the best in the league, and it just made that top floor clear so much easier. You could see Invictus at every turn wanting to even out the man advantage as best as they possibly could. We saw re-aggression up the stairs, we saw players looking to swing and find kills, but the Chiefs were playing it so vigilantly. They were being extra sure they didn't get cheesed in that round. It pays off, and now they have the lead.
Yeah, and if I said before, after the 4th round, anything from here was a bonus, they've already gotten that bonus. So anything from here is a mega bonus. A 4-2 attacking half on Cafe, a map that the Chiefs don't have much success on, is absolutely, unquestionably, an amazing first half. Now, if it still ends 3-3, it's not necessarily, I think, a win. It definitely would just be par for the course, kind of, you know, it's a draw essentially, because it is 3-3. So Invictus, they take their tactical time out. They need to find victory after it, which typically, again, I don't have the stats for it. I love it. I know Raven brought it up earlier. It's such a important part of Siege with these tactical timeouts, but the gut feeling is most teams usually find a win after they call that tack.
Third floor, though, has been a very
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
strong
defused by
objectives for
attackers.
Invictus. Now, it is only a 50% win rate, as they were able to win it last time, but the first time they attempted this site, it was so clean. Invictus did a great job in preventing the western push, but then on the reattempt, the Chiefs did a great job in pressuring east.
Yep.
So now we're kind of stuck in the middle. Which way do Chiefs go? Right? Because Invictus are now going to be prepped and ready. They will...
Skylight Rush.
They'll be anticipating. Cocktail will be a lot more cautious of it on this occasion. So this is just such an interesting round to sit back and enjoy, because if the Chiefs are able to now transition west and go for that push and pull that off, Invictus have already expended their tack timeout, and their mental is going to be really challenged when the sides flip.
Yeah, and I think obviously in this instance, right, you kind of labeled it perfectly in the sense that the Chiefs have already sort of played both hands. They've played that west hand, they've played that east hand. So Invictus now get an opportunity to say, okay, we've dealt with both. Here's what we kind of need to do for both as well. Obviously discussing this in their tactical timeout, you would assume. So you would have to hope for Invictus' sake that they are capable of defending both now and ready to go. As you said, have the Chiefs got something else up their sleeve? An opportunity to go up 4-2. An opportunity to put destiny in their own hands when it comes to that major. Will it fall away from Invictus? Because right now it is in their hands, right? Like in theory, destiny is in the hands of Invictus and it could be snatched away from them by the Chiefs.
Yeah, Invictus are in the best position at the moment of all the teams in APAC South to head straight to Sweden for the major. A win here in regulation would all but confirm it. And even an OT win puts them in a stellar position heading into the final Playday, and will make for a banging matchup between them and Elevate.
Oh, okay. I don't necessarily mind that from Speakeasy, because the poor guy has not been able to do a single thing in the last 2 rounds, Gus.
He's getting hungry.
He's been a little hungry sitting on the sidelines. He senses maybe an opportunity to make a play. And I don't mind that in that instance because of the circumstances from the prior rounds. That's one thing I was going to bring up. He's such an integral part of the way that IG win their rounds. He needs to stay alive. He needs to be that player that's difficult to get out of washrooms, for instance. He needs to find a pick or two. He needs to get involved.
Oh, that nade not quite hitting the mark. The deployable shield still standing, and I'm not sure where the Electro Claw is. Maybe it's down below. I don't know how that's survived. I can't quite see where it's positioned. You can see the one on the left at the top. Oh, they're both at the top of the walls, I think. So I don't know how that nade didn't hit.
I think they're struggling right now, the Chiefs.
They keep getting stored out at these positions. However, Digital find that big.
It's got 5 kills now. Having a massive game in what is such an important match for the Chiefs. Under a minute remaining though, and they've only got that 1 kill. Still, they've been able to capitalize every time they've got these opening picks. They haven't been able to do a Speakeasy inside a washroom yet though. Fisher guy getting smoked out by that gas babe. He'll have to be forced to stay inside a shop for now. Need to see a little bit more from this clash though of Luna. It hasn't really been that impactful in denying the Chiefs a whole lot. There's a trade in the kill feed, by the way. Fisher
big.
guy though with that second one. Speakeasy once again has been shut down. Fisher guy sends it all the way into Cocktail. Don't worry about that player. The Chiefs have just killed everyone. Ooh. Absolutely dominating first half from the Chiefs. 4 rounds in a row.
The Chiefs have taken down the setup that was so difficult for them to contend with last time. Invictus put all their eggs in that basket, and they expected the defense to hold up once again. They used a tactical timeout to try and hold that momentum. Now, that's gone. They are well and truly on the back foot on many metrics here. The Chiefs are in pole position.
Yep.
From here, this is... I'm going to say it, this is their game to lose. They have the round advantage, they're on the defense, they have a tactical timeout, they have the momentum as well. Everything is in the Chiefs camp at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously Invictus have already taken their attack timeout. That goes back to what I was saying before, by the way. It's why I really would love to keep those sort of stats, if possible, in the future about how a team performs out of attack, because Invictus took the attack timeout and they lose anyway. In the end, it really just came down to that Chiefs firepower pushing onto site. Invictus just get absolutely overwhelmed. And Speak Easy, you know, he's still got 5 kills. He's still technically leading the way for Invictus. But I swear he had all 5 of those kills inside the first 2 rounds. So he has not really been able to get involved during this Chiefs onslaught. So even IG's best player hasn't been able to sort of step up to the plate. This is a very one-sided affair over the last 4 rounds. Invictus now on the attack need to essentially emulate what the Chiefs were able to do, dictate the tempo, be the aggressors, and have those slight innovations and the ability to adapt on the fly.
Are we going to see a response here from IG? It's moments like this where you do see the best teams really dig deep, and Invictus are a team that throughout this entire year have had some pretty big ups and downs and have managed to fight back from dire positions. Stage 1 for Invictus was horrible compared to what their expectations were after a successful campaign in APAC North last year, but the last couple of stages have been fantastic. Their performance at Mexico probably leaving a little bit to be desired, and they are hungrier than ever to do well at a major, but they still need to qualify for Sweden. And they're currently on the back foot, and Digital with a run out gets the first.
Man, what is he on? How much wheat picks has Stitch had
I was
today?
going to ask how many wheat picks did he have today?
Oh, jeez. But this is becoming a trend now for the Chiefs, right, guys, where they are constantly getting these opening picks. In fact, they've had now the last 5, 6 in a row. They've had 6 in a row. Like, that is startling. If you are an Invictus fan, that is not good news.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Minute 30 now left on the clock. As the Chiefs fight so hard for this regulation win, puts fate in their hands. They'll only need to overcome Order, the bottom place team, to make it to Sweden, and what a storyline that would be. Only one player on this roster has ever been to an international LAN event. That's Ethan, who jumped back into the server, joining this team recently. Joe, though, from IG inside of Mining, looking to find the trade.
E1D deployed, under a minute remaining. Invictus, can they find a way back in? They are up on the ropes. Joe, even their shots not really sticking here. Did land quite a lot of them, though, from inside of Mining. But now you've got to be the aggressor. Now you've got to find that new angle. The Nitrocell falls short, but still, you like to see that. Joe now just being the aggressor, the push forward here into Train. Gets the kill. Makes it 3 versus 2 at least. It's not impossible from here for IG. Down to just Jordan and Joe. They have Diffuser in hand, but 30 seconds remaining is not a lot of time.
Those footholds. Fisho playing off them. He is low on HP though, so he needs to be mindful of a flick. Worthy has control up above. Good presence of mind to ping that Selma out to the rest of the team. 15 seconds left for the push.
Fisher guy's low, has a Nitrocell in his back pocket as well that he could still just yeet out into the world. And why not just push in and find the last 2 for the Chiefs? They continue to slaughter Invictus Gaming. It's 5-2 in our marquee matchup. It is as one-sided as you could have expected it.
Heading into this match, Chiefs had a 2-4 record on Cafe. Invictus had the exact opposite, a 4-2 record. It's a map that maybe the Chiefs have been hiding up their sleeve. It's one of their most banned. It is their most banned map, so maybe they have fooled us all. And so far, they have well and truly fooled Invictus Gaming. One more round secures overtime. If this goes to overtime, the best Invictus can do is finish with 13 points, leaving them exposed to elevate for the final Playday. Every round from now is super, super critical if it wasn't already.
Yeah, and honestly at that point where we're so far back now for Invictus that you know, you can obviously speak about, you know, the ifs and the buts and OTs, but they're at a 3-round differential. I think you can, not only that, they've lost 5 rounds in a row. I don't think you can worry about what's awaiting their fate in terms of, you know, potential OTs or what points are going to do for them. They need to worry about what's right in front of them. And that's the Chiefs proving that they're the better team to go to the major, to have the destiny in their hands going into Playday 7. If they close this game out and they get all 3 points, all they have to do is beat the last place team next week and they will go to the major. It's as simple as that, really. It will be in their hands. Nitrocell out early. Worthy takes a big chunk of damage. I guess it maybe, I don't know what happened there. Maybe it wasn't a Nitrocell. I guess it was a nade, but still. Can Invictus find a way back into this game?
Worthy's low on HP, but able to rotate down. That does forfeit control inside of Piano, but there are players alongside still to assist, making it precarious to enter. You can see just how cautious Invictus Gaming are being. They know that any small mistake from here, if punished, could cost their chances of heading straight to Sweden off the back of this match. That's the other key storyline, right? Invictus need a regulation win. Boom, they're in. Anything less, playoff run is inevitable. Depending on the final Playday.
Yeah, and for Invictus, there's still a way back into this. I know, like, it's very easy to get hyped into the Chiefs bandwagon, and understandably so. They've won 5 in a row here, but you win 1 here, makes it 5-3. That's not an impossible scoreline. You halt their momentum slightly, and you try and claw it back 1 round at a time. But there's 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, and really not a whole lot here established for Invictus. A pretty normal approach. Obviously top red control, they've got to play over towards Skylight, but yeah, this is what they need. To have someone on this more eastern side putting pressure onto the Chiefs here for Bar Cocktail.
Oh no, this could be a free kill for Hysterics, but oh my god, God, Legion wins that flick. Worthy elsewhere found one as well. And just like that, Chiefs have the man advantage. Invictus stalled out. This has been such an awkward position of the map to push for both teams. Invictus will need to produce a minor miracle here.
And if they don't, the Chiefs will secure themselves at least 1 point. Invictus will not be able to get 3. They need to win this round. They need to just keep that hope alive that maybe 3 points could still be on offer. 30 seconds left, down a player, basically down everything. They don't even have Speakeasy to bail them out like he's done so many times before. Bisho guy gets swung on successfully by Joe. White corridor established, sees that head, gets that ping as well. Knows there's one in the corner, knows there's 2 inside a Cocktail. The swing is successfully executed by Joe. Once again, 3 for the round. He's done a perfect push onto site. Ethan though, flanks in from behind, finally shuts him down. The diffuser to be planted by Jordan. He's actually getting a ping here, Ethan, to maybe try and deny it at the last second, but it's successful. He gets shut down. Invictus keep 3 points hopes alive.
Joe, what a play. Wow. If he doesn't go for that and doesn't pull it off, they do not win the round. Finding multiple picks there down White Corridor, in through Cocktail. Such a huge play. The E1D playing a big part as well. Those players in Cocktail pinged out and he was able to just click those heads. Invictus keep that auto-qual dream alive off the back of this matchup and off the back of that round.
Sometimes you just got to let that music create the atmosphere a little bit, guys. It's a tense one. If you're an IG fan, it's a long way back, but it's not impossible. It's kind of the story we need to promote here. They are an amazing team that has been almost flawless this stage, not necessarily actually flawless. Especially when you consider Playday 5's result, the loss to Direwolves, which of course happened to be on Cafe. And I guess in a way for Chiefs taking inspiration from Direwolves here on this particular map and replicating what Direwolves were able to achieve here on Cafe against IG. It's seemingly playing out that way, but for IG, they need to dig deep, and this kind of suggests, you know, like how much time did they put into rectifying those Cafe mistakes coming into this game? Are they going to be able to bring this one back? A good start, and if they can make it 5-4, suddenly believe it or not, the pressure then kind of switches over to the Chiefs to then respond to 2 rounds in a row to IG. So an opportunity presents itself going down the kitchen.
The thing is, if Invictus win this round, that's obviously 2 straight, right? Chiefs, I would almost bet my entire life on. we'll take the tactical timeout straight away to hold that momentum, right? And that's something Invictus don't have the privilege of doing anymore. They used it in the first half. They tried to even out the scoreline as best they could, and they failed. They don't have that to fall back on now for the rest of this matchup. So the Chiefs, even if they lose this next round, can find solace in that. And it is going to be tricky for Invictus to create that meaningful momentum, which they'll need to carry them through this map. Now, in terms of the Chiefs this round on the defense, they've actually got quite a confident, aggressive setup, particularly on that bakery side. We saw God Legion on the Jaeger setting that up with the deployable shield to assist. And that's a positive sign for the Chiefs. They're wanting to play in the face of their opponents. They're not going to play timid. And they are looking to close this match out confidently.
Yeah, and that's really been their mantra here on this entire game. Basically from the get-go. I mean, the first 2 rounds didn't obviously work out necessarily, but they still had a similar mindset, and obviously were able to be quite successful from that point onwards for 5 rounds in a row. For Invictus, though, already able to get full establishment inside of train and mining is going to be a decent amount of verticality above this site. And they find the opening pick, something that they haven't really been able to do much of in this match. So when you couple the verticality established plus the opening pick, Chiefs on the back foot here in this 9th round.
Yeah, Joe really has been a shining light for Invictus in the last 2 rounds, really keeping his team in this, and on this occasion giving them the advantage for the rest of the round. Invictus have cleared out the eastern side of Kitchen over towards that coffee position. And if they open up Freezer, they clear out VIP, Fisher guy in that position, then they are in a great stance to try and get that diffuser stuck. For me, Invictus have the advantage.
Speakeasy is the one that you would think needs to get that kill onto the player inside of VIP. Has the ping. Got to be careful with that long angle though as well, but Speakeasy goes for it. He has been struggling in the last couple of rounds. He gets swung on from said long angle. No one really to sort of cover him. 20 seconds remaining, and suddenly he's somewhat pinched in 1 versus 2. Needs a bit of help. Finds it through Hysterics with the kill. Gets the confidence to push on to Fisher guy, and the round certainly falling away from the Chiefs. Joe now planting that diffuser. Hysterics takes out Digital. No heroics this time. And suddenly, now, Invictus with 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, really great clear there from Invictus. They knew that that defensive setup really did hinge on VIP in particular, as well as that secondary pressure from the Whiskey Bar, and they cleared them both. Now, critically, the response here from the Chiefs, as I predicted,
Yep.
Bang.
Well done,
Tactical timeout, hold that momentum, and really, really compose themselves. This next round, again, it's just so big. When you're on that 5th point, the next one's just so massive, again, considering the circumstances surrounding this matchup.
Crazy. Imagine that Invictus are able to replicate what the Chiefs did, which is to win off the back of the other team's tactical timeout. If they do that, it's 5-5. Like, obviously, we've seen Chiefs win 5 rounds in a row. But because IG already had those first 2 rounds banked up, it didn't take much for them to sort of bring the scoreboard back. And it's kind of why I, at 5-2 wasn't necessarily, grabbing onto that Chiefs bandwagon straight away and thinking, oh, there's a chance here that IG can still bring this back. And they've proven that. And that's why you don't count out such a solid team like IG. They've got that potential to bring it back. They've got the star power. They've got the prowess to do it. They forced the tack timeout. So all those advantages that Chiefs had, the round differential, gone. The tack timeout, gone. Suddenly, we got ourselves a game again. And suddenly, that 5-round win streak feels like a lifetime ago.
Defenders
Reading fireplace
by
for round number 10. Chiefs wanting to win this one out. Now seeing the alibi brought out here from the defense. You can only assume that's probably going to be used in combination with the cocktail hold. Trying to hold that out as long as possible. The Storm, a very confident weapon in the hands of Worthy, so allowing him a little bit more freedom and versatility. Play quite aggressively. Have to see though whether or not he can really switch on. Now, a player that again has been a little bit quiet in the last few rounds is Speakeasy, and you can never count him out, despite maybe not getting many kills in the last, probably at this point, half a dozen or so rounds. At a flick of a switch, right, it only takes one moment for him to go boom and he'll get a 3K, right? So you cannot sleep on him, despite the Chiefs so far doing a great job in shutting him down. Yeah,
and Joe's obviously stood up in his absence, as you mentioned before as well. He's been so impactful in some critical moments. For the Chiefs, they've had, honestly, a very even spread performance as well, so you don't really see any sort of standouts there. You expect Ethan and Worthy to do the job. Digital, you know, 7-7 has obviously had some big moments too. But still, Chiefs, surely they can't let this slip away. They were up 5-2. Invictus is clawing this one back round by round. They've won the last two. Bar Cocktail, Kitchen Cooking. Now we head to Reading Fireplace. Can Invictus do the World Tour?
Maybe. Worthy falls off that top floor position. As Invictus begin their entry. They drone ahead and they'll be looking to drop down Red Hatch. I almost thought Luna was up in White Corridor there, but no, in fact he is on the rappel. That's a minute wasted. I don't know exactly how much Invictus have actually been able to achieve in this time. I'm assuming they've got decent information up ahead. That Yana hologram as well. Got a nice peek in towards that cocktail setup as well. So Invictus probably feeling relatively comfortable, but they need to start actually gaining meaningful control. Actually converting that across to a win could be tricky as the time depletes, but Speakeasy, there we go. I said there might be an opportunity for him to activate as Digital shuts down Joe.
How many times
player that was stepping up?
How many times have we seen Speakeasy and Worthy going toe-to-toe in this match? It's been like a little mini game happening between those two. It's been such a fascinating duel. Both star players, 4 versus 4. Hard to say who's really better off with either player. I'll say it's a stalemate, guys. I'll say it's a bit of a draw at the moment. Fisher guy doesn't find what he's looking for through the hole. 1 minute remaining in the 10th round. Can the Chiefs secure 6 rounds? Can they secure locking Invictus away from getting all 3 points? We have to remember that little storyline, guys. Chiefs can still deny Invictus all 3 points if they win this round.
All 10 players in the server, 8 of which are now alive, have been playing so well. Nobody is dragging their heels at all. Any player right now has the potential to turn this round on its head, and in doing so change the outcome of the matchup and potentially the standings as well. Digital and Ethan are in such great positions if Invictus go for pillar control. This is going to be a bloody finish to the round.
E1D and push in will be the play for Invictus. They have to just go in through pillar, go for a default plant. Jordan is in, full white on Digital. He still hits the shots anyway. Double headshot. Ethan, it is indeed over. Jordan's taken out. Luna goes pretty big with 2 big kills. That plays down. He gets the knife from behind, makes it a 1 versus 1. It's never over until it's actually over. Ethan can't get it. Gives away the position. 30 seconds remaining on that timer. He's going for the kill. Luna's so low. Oh, speaking of low, it's Ethan though! Like times of old, Ethan returns and makes his presence known!
Ethan clutches out the round and denies the auto-qual for the major for Invictus. As a result of that, Invictus cannot go to Sweden, even if they win this game in overtime, and the Chiefs now positioned perfectly to win this in regulation themselves, and in doing so put fate in their hands for the final Playday. That was a bloody crazy end to that round, man. Oh my god, I am absolutely sweating up a storm, and I have no doubt when God Legion got knifed in the back there, the hearts of the Chiefs roster and the fans watching this stream dropped.
It happened so quick.
Ethan almost died as well. He was one shot. That was so incredibly close, but margins like that can dictate rounds.
God. The mental fortitude required of Invictus Gaming right now needs to be at an all-time level to quickly move on. Very quickly move on. Establish an attacking plan here for this next round. They desperately need to force this OT, guys. They have to force this OT. If they can do that, then suddenly things still remain a possibility. But right now, the Chiefs have destiny in their hands. They need to close it out and get all 3 points to establish themselves an opportunity where in Playday 7, all they will have to do is defeat Order, the team in last place here for APAC South. Now, should preface, guys, that Order, of course, will be still fighting for their own lives in terms of top 4. It's not necessarily a given, but you would back yourselves in the Chiefs' shoes.
And what a story it would be for the Chiefs to go to their first international event as a squad. Ethan, the player that just clutched up again, to reiterate, is the only player on this roster to attend international LAN level events, being Takaname, the Pro League Finals, and 6 Invitational with Wildcard. He is the only player on this team with that experience, so it would be incredible to send the O's boys over. But Invictus, they're not going to roll over without a fight. If they're able to bring this back in OT and win it out, they still find themselves in a great position. They'll still have the lead, and then the ball will be in their court to beat Elevate in the final play day.
Yeah, and that's why they need to focus up here. It's not over. It's not over. They were so close to 5-5. Luna so close to arguably one of the best plays that we've seen in APAC South this year. Maybe the best. Just couldn't quite finish it off. We, of course, as casters and as viewers can sort of dwell on it, but they can't. They need to move forward here, and that's what they're doing. Droning out, minute 40. Need to make sure that they also don't take too much time here on this kitchen site. Clearly going for this top-down approach. Not too much presence over towards Bakery. Looking to establish training, mine, and start to open up a lot of these floorboards. This is not too bad, especially a minute and a half. They're starting to get that pressure on site from above.
There's still 9 drones up here for Invictus, so the economy looking great. Plenty of utils still available as well, so they can open up these lines of sight and then use the next phase of the round to actually employ the remaining 9 drones. Drone out, sight, drone out, VIP where Fisher is playing. God Legion behind Whiskey Bar again. If they want to go for the same clear they did last time from that freezer side of the map, it's been droned out pretty well. They know for the most part it's relatively safe. They just need to win those mini games like they did last time, which was pretty dominant. So Invictus looking to replicate that here.
Just under a minute remaining. Match point for the Chiefs. They have destiny in their own hands. Hysterics not able to get fortunate there. Oh, Worthy takes an absolute beating. Stays alive, though. That's critical still with that Nitrocell available. EE1D deployed from Luna has 1 left remaining. Not much time, 30 seconds.
Speakeasy expends his last grenade. 25 now left. Fisho, he's the player to watch. If he holds this position, the Chiefs will win the round.
20 seconds, Fisher guy inside of VIP crucial. Ethan, guess who? Gets the opening pick, but is immediately traded. Into red time we go. Joe falls down, out for the count. Worthy, superstar once again for the Chiefs. Still Nitrocell in hand. Speak easy. He looked away, but he got him back anyway. Jordan's into sight with diffuser. Has to stick it. No time though. That's it. Chiefs take all 3 points here on Cafe. They will take top spot here in APAC South. Destiny in their own hands for Sweden.
First place has not been decided yet. This is going to go down to the absolute wire, the 11th hour, but the Chiefs put their best foot forward. An epic performance here on Cafe, a 7-4